Hello my demon-slaying friends, Arlo here, and today we're reviewing Doom. This is only the second M-rated game I've ever reviewed on this channel, so send the kiddies to bed, because it's gonna get all M-rated in here. Real hardcore stuff. Hardcore gamers, that's you and me. Mature, hardcore gamers. Okay, that's enough of that.
Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
I was positively delighted when I heard Doom was coming to the Switch, because it was a game I really wanted to talk about, but it wasn't on a Nintendo system, so I didn't know if any of my fans would care much, and by the time I played it, it was too late to just do a plain old review. But here we are now, the game is on the Switch, and I'm here to tell you that if there's one shooter out there that can appeal to a Nintendo fan that's not big on shooters, Doom is it. See, I downloaded a demo when I first got my PS4 last year, purely because I wanted something pretty to look at. I didn't know a thing about the game and was just expecting some shooty action that would make me go, wow, I sure am glad I bought this off-brand 4K TV, and then I'd delete it forever. But as the demo unfolded, it was one of those things where I'm like, I think I like this game. Then after a few more run-throughs, I'm like, I think I want this game. Then after playing the darn thing a dozen times or more, I'm like, I think I really want this game, like right now. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let me set the scene. In Doom, you play as a dude called the Doomslayer, aka Doom Guy. You were found by scientists in a sarcophagus in Hell, and these same scientist guys have a facility on Mars where they tap into Hell's unlimited well of what they call Argent energy. Something goes wrong though, and the forces of Hell break through into our world and just really make a mess of the whole facility. And as a last-ditch effort to clean the place up, the scientist guys wake you up knowing that the Doomslayer's favoriteest thing in the whole world is killing demons. You just love it. Literally the first thing you do when you wake up is smash a possessed scientist's face in, a move that I assume is the Doomslayer's equivalent of cracking your back when you get out of bed. And the brilliant thing about Doom's story is that all this important stuff happens, and there are characters with their own motivations, and they want you to do stuff for them, but your character cares none about them. You never speak, and you never do what they say because they tell you to do it. The Doomslayer's only goal is to kill as many demons as possible and stop them from breaking out of Hell, and everything else is just superfluous. Anything that doesn't fit with this plan doesn't happen. Watch as he entirely ignores many of these characters' requests. Perhaps the most interesting thing about Doom is that it can be enjoyed by two different types of players, and the story reflects this idea early on. You want to pay close attention to the plot and dig into all the codexes the game gives you on the monsters and the background of the facility and its technology and even Hell's own lore? Go for it. But if you just want to do like the Doomslayer do and kill you some demons, well, you've got that option. So once the game starts, you're thrown pretty immediately into the action. Now, I'm not a huge shooter fan in general. I like games that happen to have shooting in them, but they've usually got to have more than just shooting. Resident Evil has treasure and secrets and resource management, Mass Effect has RPG elements and a great story, etc. Doom has extra stuff that makes the shooting part worth it, but the fact that the shooting captivated me before anything else really says something. There's just something so darn satisfying about the combat. You move incredibly fast, and you're really nimble. Jump at a ledge, and you'll quickly and effortlessly pull yourself up onto it. There's no taking cover here, no strategizing, and you've got limited ammo, but you don't even have to reload. You just run around like a crazy person, blasting demons left and right. You're always moving, always making it rain raspberry jelly. I like taking cover, I like strategizing and thinking out my plan of action. But for whatever reason, this is just so refreshing, like it taps into a more primal, challenge-craving part of my gamer self. In addition to shooting, if you stagger an enemy, you can perform a glory kill on it, which will always net you some health drops. These are great because they're not the purely gratuitous murders that I'm used to seeing in other games, these glorified, drawn-out fireworks displays of gore that I think I might have enjoyed when I was 11. In Doom, they're purely business. They're bloody, they're silly, but they're always the quickest way possible for the Doomslayer to kill a demon with his bare hands. Just rip a part off and use it to kill the rest. This reinforces our silent protagonist's identity. We're playing it because we happen to find this entertaining, but he ain't in it to entertain. He's in it to kill, quickly and efficiently. Like I said, going into the demo for the first time, I expected something pretty on rails. Just run to the end and blast everything in your path. That's what shooters are these days, right? But most of these levels are generally open. You move through them adventure style, completing objectives and getting key cards and pulling levers and whatnot. It's pretty straightforward stuff, but it's a million times better than just running through corridors, I'll tell you that much. The best part though, and the thing that ultimately turned Doom into a game I wanted to play, just like classic Doom, it's full of secrets. When you first start playing, you'll run through a level and look at the mission complete screen at the end and be like, wait, I missed how many secrets? I mean, the game is stuffed with them, and they're way fun to hunt down. The stuff you find feeds into various upgrade systems. You find Praetor tokens to upgrade your suit, enhancing environmental resistances and your ability to scan the map for secrets, just as 2 examples. There are Argent energy cells, which can be used to boost your health, flower points, or badge points. I mean, health, ammo capacity, or armor, your choice. Each weapon has multiple mods to find, and these mods can be activated by holding the left trigger while shooting. Then all sorts of stuff gives you weapon upgrade points, which you can use to power up your mods even further, turning your guns into ridiculous killing machines. Lastly, you'll find little bonus room style challenges where you have to do something within a time limit, usually kill all the whatevers or shoot all the whatevers with a certain gun. These can be positively intense, and they reward you with runes, which can boost your performance even further. And even when you're not hunting for secrets, the game constantly rewards you for playing in certain ways. Killing guys fills up these 5 dealies at the top of the screen, and filling them all up nets you some weapon upgrade points. Each level's got 3 challenges to complete, which also grant weapon upgrade points upon completion. Perform 5 different glory kills on this type of enemy, kill 3 guys with 1 explosive barrel, lots of different stuff. Once you've upgraded a weapon mod to the max, you can give it 1 more awesome ability by completing a similar challenge and attaining weapon mastery for it. These usually involve killing a certain number of demons in a particular fashion and can sometimes be a tiny bit grindy, but overall I enjoy doing them. Then, even the runes can be upgraded by completing challenges. Between all the secrets and upgrades, you're looking at an experience that never stops giving. You never stop feeling that little rush of satisfaction that comes with getting stronger, becoming better at slaughtering demons by the boatload. But then, of course, like I said with the story, the game works differently for different players. Not into all this secrety, upgradey stuff? Then don't worry about it. Without looking too hard, you'll run into enough stuff to make you powerful enough to move forward, and if you're the type that just wants to blast ahead and kill demons without stopping, you'll probably enjoy the extra challenge of being a little weaker. If you're not into that challenge, then turn the difficulty down. Don't matter how you want to play, Doom got you covered. And of course, if you're into punishing yourself, just running yourself through the ringer, there are brutal difficulty settings for you to peruse. I'll pass on those though, I'm lucky to beat the game on easy. So all of this could have just acted as a review for the original game, but the big question is, of course, how does it run on Switch? And the answer is pretty good, though not perfect. I loved how the game ran at a solid 60 FPS on PS4, though on Switch, unfortunately, you're looking at 30 FPS at max. It can stay consistent for a good long while depending on where you are, but you'll inevitably hit some rough spots. Sometimes this means some slight or brief lag, and sometimes it basically means playing the game in slow motion. It's not so frequent that it makes me want to stop playing, and to be honest, I'm not as much of a stickler for frame rate as most people, though it's good to know going in that this does happen, and as far as I can tell the result is the same, handheld or docked. Again, it depends on the area and the guys you're fighting. By no means is it all the time. Overall, it's pretty clear that the developers went to great lengths to try to make the experience work as well as it can on the little portable. Then for you pixel counters out there, I ain't Digital Foundry or anything, but the resolution appears to be dynamic. It tops out at 720p even when docked, and in handheld mode, it looks like it's below that. Sometimes things look decently clear, like between battles, but other times, particularly in handheld, the resolution is so low with so much anti-aliasing heaped on that things start to look downright blurry, like your screen is fogged up. Then you've got some fairly intense texture pop-in going on, though at least it pops in quick. If you run through an area fast enough, you can kinda sense the world being built around you as you go. Despite all this though, the gameplay is still fast and fun for the most part, and it's really impressive that they were able to pull this off on the Switch. Maybe the frame rate and resolution took a hit, maybe they had to downscale some textures and particle effects, but overall, graphically, it really doesn't look that much worse than it does on PS4. The art style and lighting are still superb, poly counts are high, backdrops look great. It's the same game for all intents and purposes. Content-wise, it's almost the same game. It includes all the DLC and updates that the original game enjoyed, which is great because I never bothered to purchase the DLC on my PS4, though unfortunately it's missing SnapMap, the game's level editor. This was another thing I never got around to using myself, though I can see its absence being pretty disappointing for some, especially considering the Switch's social nature. Making and sharing levels with friends and playing them right there in the same room would be really great. So, having played both versions of Doom, can I recommend one over the other? Well, you know, it's pretty tough to say. Playing such an intense, action-packed shooter is indeed more comfortable in front of the TV with a normal controller, and if I'm already doing that, I'd rather be doing it on my PS4 with the better graphics and frame rate and all that. Though on the other hand, hunting for secrets is perfect for more casual handheld play, and in that case, the ability to switch playstyles is a huge plus. Even with the Switch version's performance issues, that's just the power of handheld play. It's an enormous selling point. So really, I don't know if I can say one way or the other which version I prefer, and I certainly can't suggest one or the other to you if you've got both options available to you. It really just depends on your own preferences. Great graphics are great, but so is playing Doom in bed. If you don't have a PS4 or an Xbox or whatever though, and this game looks fun, I can't recommend the Switch version enough. It ain't perfect, but it's Doom, and Doom is awesome. It really might be the most Nintendo non-Nintendo shooter out there, despite the fact that on the surface it looks like nothing more than a run-and-gun demon-stomping bloodbath. In fact, I get a lot of Metroid vibes when I play it. The way you progress through levels, some of the abilities you get, the settings, and especially the way you gather lore that tells a greater story. Coming from someone who hasn't felt motivated to play a traditional first-person shooter all the way through since Halo 1 on the Xbox, Doom is simply a blast. I give the Switch version a 6 out of 7. Well, thanks for watching. Now if you'll excuse me, it's time for a little more mature, hardcore gaming time with my copy of Doom. I just gotta make sure I find my computer glasses first so I don't get a headache. And I can only play for like a half hour. I gotta work tomorrow.